I started Make Your Life Epic out of kind of a guilt almost. People wanted to do lunch, people wanted to meet for breakfast, people wanted me to respond to their email, and I found I just ran out of time. I have 5 great kids, beautiful wife, and 10 different businesses I manage, and it just became impossible to meet all these people for lunch unless I was eating lunch 12 days a week, and there's only 5, so it didn't work out too well. At Make Your Life Epic, entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs can find the absolute best business resources available. If you're looking for business coaching, you want someone to fly out or come out to your business and work with you hands-on, you can do that. Website optimization training, sales coaching, motivational training, information on how to form an LLC, how to get properly insured, how to account for things properly. It's all here at Make Your Life Epic. You can start living a life of abundance and start pursuing your dreams right now. All you need to do is contrast where you want to be versus where you are. And we're going to teach you the action steps to get there starting right now. What is your ideal lifestyle cost? What will it cost you to live out an ideal lifestyle? Think about so. Let's think real quick. Let's write a number down just so that we can have something we're working on. Write down a number of what you want your gross sales to be 12 months from now, if this works. Because I'm going to teach you very specific action steps that'll help you. But just write down that gross number. No one else will see it, just for you. I just want to know. I just want you to be able to decide whether this was successful for you. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to teach you 3 moves. 3 moves. 1 is how to break out of the pack with social media. 2 is 6 proven social media strategies. And 3 is how to turn those clicks into cash. So people love to do things that other people are doing. In the 1960s, who remembers the 1960s? 1960s, there were these guys that had kind of shaggy hair. They landed here from England. Okay, and a lot of people didn't know who these people were. In fact, no one knew who they were. And their names was John. You got Paul. You got Ringo. You got the guys. What happens is the plane lands. When the plane lands, no one's there, and they go. Publicist says, I don't think that the publicist says, I don't think this is a good thing. There's a book called PR 2.0 by Michael Levine where you can read this story. Michael Levine. So what happens? L-E-V-I-N-E. So the plane lands, and he says, just take off, fly back. That didn't go so well. So he goes to the local high school, and he says, well, I need all the cheerleaders and all the kids to hold up signs and to scream the names of the people on the signs. The high school kid said, who are these people? Don't worry about it, just scream it. We're on TV. We're on TV? Oh, okay. So the camera pans, John, Paul, they get out, you know, they're cheering. Then they take the picture, they put it in the news, and it says, Beatlemania's here. Then the Associated Press sees it and goes, Beatlemania's here. And then, Beatlemania. Another guy, there was a singer, he's a lounge singer, he's handsome guy, but really had no confidence on the stage yet. He was handsome, he had a little charisma, but he had struggled with getting charisma like on the stage. And they said, his publicist says, this guy's got a problem. Well, we need to build his confidence. Well, how can we do it? Let's have girls scream when he performs. Let's have a girl faint. Sinatra, his publicist paid to have women scream. Okay, so if this works, why does everyone do it? There's 2 reasons. 1, most people are uncomfortable doing something they've never done before. When I got asked to do public speaking for the first time by the SBA, I had never spoken to a group of people when I wasn't behind a DJ booth and sang jokes. So I'm like, I mean, I have to say something sincere. You know, because I'm so used to making ridiculous jokes. And I was like, oh. So it's uncomfortable, right? The second is it does require diligence, which Jerry West, NBA Hall of Famer, says if you only work on the days you feel like working, then you won't get to the Hall of Fame. So it's a deal where like we have to do this even though we're not feeling good. You know what I mean? It's new to us. It's new. Okay. All right, so move number 1 is you have to define your purple cow. This is the stuff I think is kind of fun. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of examples, and then hopefully one of them you'll get a big idea. This is for your business. It's for your life to help you get to your goals. I cannot tell you your purple cow, but you need to have a purple cow. This is what Seth Godin says. Who's Seth Godin? He does case studies of super successful companies, and this is what his observations are. He says, if your offering isn't remarkable, it's invisible. No matter how much you spend on well-crafted advertising, your offering must be remarkable, or the buyer, me, the buyer, am I going to make a remark about it? If not, then you're average and you're invisible. Am I going to make a remark about it? Am I going to comment on it? think about in your business, what is something you can do? I'm going to show you 3 other people today who are absolutely financially hitting home runs, who are not doing anything differently than all the things you already do, and then doing these new things. They're just adding a couple new things, and that's how they're making their money. And this life is not about reading USA Today and seeing other people do it. We want to be in USA Today, right? We want to be the ones they're writing about, you know? And I want to show you an example. This morning, I was looking for PR to show you guys. Anybody here been to Las Vegas in the last 2 years? When you think of the Palazzo, do you think of an environmentally friendly, green, environmentally neutrally, I mean, it's like a neutral carbon footprint when you think of these big hotels with the big lights? What comes to your mind when you see a hotel with all the lights?
Waste that power bill.
Who here, which one of you guys has actually thought that? You're with your wife or your husband and you're touring and you're like, look at all the lights, I wonder what the light bill must be. Yeah, you're entrepreneurs, you have that problem. We're calculating, I wonder how much money they're making. Those suckers, how much they're gambling? And you're processing profits and losses and you're like, this is awesome. Or this is bad. Or you're thinking, this is an article today. It really did happen. I'm going to read it to you and I want you guys to go, okay? Whenever you get this wow, just kind of, so I know it happened. The 50-story complex achieved an unlikely and lucrative milestone after opening in 2008. The Palazzo, a powerful organization, was declared, or a powerful private organization declared the Palazzo an environmentally friendly green building. The world's largest at the time. In fact, they won a $27 million tax break over a 20-year period for including the following things: bike racks, a room card that tells guests when towels to be replaced, landscaping that does not use grass, which local laws prohibit anyway, and a preferred spot for fuel efficient cars. So I ask you,
$27 million for that.
Yep, here's the deal. Here's companies that grew, and we're going to get through it. Tom's Shoes. Who here has bought Tom's Shoes or knows what Tom's Shoes is? Sir in the back, what does Tom's Shoes do?
You buy one pair of shoes, they send a pair of shoes to some country underprivileged, somebody who doesn't have shoes. My daughters will buy nothing but Tom's because of that.
Okay, that's example number one. How much did they spend on advertising? Zero. Was that the idea that they used before they became famous? Or did they become famous first and then come up with that idea?
I never heard of it until my oldest started buying Tom's, and she heard about it from another friend, and I don't think I've ever seen them advertised.
That's right. The owner of the company,
buy in the stores.
the owner of the store came up with the idea from the very day one, for PR reasons, and because he sincerely cared about kids, that they, for every time they sold a shoe, would give a pair away. No advertising. Okay? Another example. 2 college kids wanted to start a restaurant. They both liked golfing. Well, both of them didn't like waking up before noon because they were usually drunk. They started a restaurant. This restaurant was struggling. They decided, you know what? We need a purple cow. People like yourself coming up with an idea. They said, bro, what if we had like an Australian theme? Why? Bro, I read this case study. It's called the Service Profit Chain. It's a Harvard case review case study of this. Bro, it's like kangaroos, kind of talk funny, you know. Good day, mate, you know. Bobby. All right, dude. Let's think. A couple days later, all right, we're doing it. So now we have Australian Steakhouse. There's no other Australian connection. It was just. Now, why did they become famous first and then come up with the Australian theme, or was that why they became famous? You see what I'm saying in this? Now, I call this spiritual hitchhiking, but think about it for a second. You stand in front of this hotel, thumb out. No one pulls over, no one pulls over. About an hour later, some guy pulls over. What's up, man? You seem to be dressed okay. You're probably not a pillager or a rapist. Where are you going? I don't know. Okay, well, I'll leave you here. Now, if you say, where are you going? Hollywood. I can't go. Next guy. Hollywood. Next one. Okay, I'll take you halfway. You're eventually going to get to Hollywood. Just throw that out for you, okay? The world cannot conspire to help you if it doesn't know where you're going. What is your cause? What are you about? What's your purple cow? Are we the best? Are we the cheapest? What the heck are we? Let's figure that out. Let's go with our purple cow, okay? So in the context of your business, what is something that you could do that would be, I'm just trying to give you ideas because you can do whatever you want, but it has to be memorable. So if I owned an appliance store, this would be like my plan B, and hopefully someone would come up with a better option. But I would say, we're going to be the greenest, and so I'm going to start wearing like chia-like clothing that actually grows. I'm going to have one person drifting around, and he's going to wear like a green suit and then greet people, and we're going to give them like organic food samples when they walk in. And people will talk about it. You know what I mean? It'll be something where they will actually talk about it on the news, and it'll become a thing. People go, have you seen the big chia guy? And it'll start to be, do people remark about it? Okay? So on social media, what could you do that's going to get the woman to comment on Facebook or to talk with the other women in a way that generates that conversation? Does that make sense? Everything I'm going to teach you today is 100% free. And so I am a big non-believer in doing battle with battleships with some of the weapons that we have. And I'll give you kind of how I look at it. In small business, we're competing against a huge store, aren't we? We have small margins, and we're competing against the juggernaut. And the juggernaut can spend $2 million over the holidays on ads. Have you had this happen in your town? And they just and they just unload this huge, massive cannon at you. And then we're there with like a BB gun, like, you know what I mean? But David did beat Goliath. So I'm going to use my slingshot, I'm going to get up close, and I'm going to win, and it makes the big guy mad. Does that make sense, though? We are David going against Goliath here, okay? So if you type an elephant in the room and you look it up, it's in Tulsa. We are within 4 miles of the sports clips, the sports clips place. We have Top Cuts. And these guys charge on average about $9 per haircut. Okay, $10. They do little specials like come in, $5 cut day. And so it's a different niche. We don't want everybody. We just want the likely buyer. Okay. For the DJ business, we don't want everybody. We just want the bride who's getting married and has a venue. So I'm asking if you've got a target or a likely buyer. The local media is the same in every market. It's the same. It's like everywhere, same place in America. All the suburbs are kind of the same.